Greetings, Mech Warriors, and welcome to This Week in Comp for the week of November 4th, 2024. Last week saw a Masters Challenge ahead of the Elimination Bracket Finals. If you're not familiar with the Masters Challenge, it's basically a series of publicly open duels with one of the masters of the game. This week, it was Bowser. Anyone can enter, and the prize is generally a choice of mechs. I didn't realize this was happening until after last week's episode was produced, but I'll keep closer eye out for this type of content going forward to give you all a heads up. Check out the VOD on MWO League's Twitch to see how it works. After the Masters Challenge, we were treated to an epic rematch between the Darksea Corsairs and the 10th Lyran Guards Revenants, which saw one of them go home. But before we delve into the results of that rematch, some highlights. And first up, we're going to take a look at this HPG match. We see that the Revenants are moving into the basement. They're going to be working to take Theta here. They're down on caps. It's not quite critical yet, but they are down a mech, generally up in their trades. So caps are going to be their concern. And here we go. We're going to see DSC noticing that they've got 4 mechs in the basement. And Sleepy Human is left all alone in that bull shark. And look how quickly that goes down. Chicken Man takes out Sleepy. And next, going to take a look at this point of view from Shadow Ace. This is the landmine, the Jenner mine, if you will. Why am I calling it? Well, take a look at that loadout. That is Streaks. Now, talked about how DSC has a very strong cap game last week and upcoming in the stats. And this is the Revenants. This is the Revenants trap. It's a trap. So we got Shadow Ace hanging out here over Sigma, just taking a look around. And upcoming, we're gonna see the very specific target for this trap is now on the point. And there we go. There's Stimrog in that cap spider, just taking all of these streak missiles. So difficult. 2 X pulses versus a general loaded with streaks. Stimrog is going to try to run away from here by whatever time he can. Keep this Jenner out of the fight is honestly the best that he could do right now. It's got the speed, and there we go. Shadow Ace taking out the DSC capper Stimrog. All right, next up we've got Bear Claw. So here the Revenants are down, and Urban Mech DSC very healthy overall in the win. We see Sleepy Human go here, but take a look at Carbon Fire over on the more left hand side of the screen. You're going to see that he's going to get some support here shortly by Shadow Ace. Here we go. Shadow Ace in this Osiris is going to start and go and pick a fight with Basalt and Hollow, the two of the trading assaults. Nyandare trying to pick Shadow Ace off with the Direwolf. Shadow Ace just going for both of them with Monkeyatso covering. Right, this is wild. I mean, the mech nuts on Shadow Ace here, taking out Hollow and then taking out Basalt. Monkeyatso with the double assist. What a wild play. Shadow heavy on this clip segment, but damn, you can't say he didn't earn it. Over the weekend, the Darksea Corsairs managed to triumph over the Revenants in the Elimination Bracket Finals, getting their 4th win in Drop 6. Well played to both teams, but one must be eliminated and one must move on. Speaking of eliminations, the same is true for this upcoming weekend, except the winning team goes home with 59% of the prize pool, which we'll take a look at later. For now, let's look at the upcoming match between the Darksea Corsairs and Vigilance. As usual, let's first take a look at the overall stats and mech choices for each team. Starting with the mechs, I noticed that last time that DSC has some pretty consistent mech choices compared to the Revenants. Now, we see Vigilance having an even more consistent top 4 than even DSC, but A lot more variety outside of that top 5. The Stone Rhino and Shadowcat have been used in all 12 of their drops, while the Crusader and Executioner have been in all but 1. The Flea rounds out the top 5 with everything else used less than half the time. We're looking at a solid meta-informed core with the remaining builds filled with situational mechs. DSC continues having relatively consistent choices. Of note, we see DSC leaning more heavily on the Viper, Direwolf, and Jenner 2C than Vigilance. With the Crusader and Flea in the top 5, expect some more aggressive mobility from Vigilance, while DSC sticks to their trading strength combined with a strong cap game, which we can see in this overall chart showing the average drop times. While it's highly dependent on their adversaries, we do see that DSC is coming in at about a full average minute more than Vigilance, suggesting higher Vigilance aggression and DSC perhaps needing to wait out that extra cap time. Looking back at the previous screen, I also want to take a look at the overall stats. Vigilance sweeping the winners bracket naturally will have a higher win-loss ratio. That certainly puts them in his favorites, but I want to focus in on the damage and the kills. The damage numbers are about 300 points different in favor of Vigilance. That's like a whole extra mech. But look at the difference in average kills. When you consider that that number is out of 8, you've got a couple of things going on here. First off, Vigilance just does more killing, which certainly contributes to their win. But DSC shows that they're certainly a threat by cap win without lower kill needed, so keep an eye out for that. The maps comparison this week I think is fairly lacking in insightful data. Vigilance remains unbeaten on Frozen, HPG, and Terra, and without a win on Viridian, but for a team that's only lost 2 drops, that's about what you'd expect. Bearclaw is the only undefeated map for DSC at this point, showing some possible advantage there. I'm not going to show this other screen here because it's a bit much to condense and still have it legible, but delving into the HPG stats for each team, we see that they are 18 damage points apart. That's 1/8. But Vigilance maintains a 1.5 average kill advantage. That being said, DSC has played twice as many drops on this map than Vigilance so far this tournament and has remained undefeated on Team 2. So there's something that perhaps they should take into consideration with their map choices. Moving on to the prize pool, we've gained another $200 last week, putting us at $36,790 US. So I think I've plugged almost every pack. I think I'm just going to go back to plugging the one that has my voice in it. Well, not this voice. I'm a little under the weather, but hey, that's the 2023 retro pack. If you haven't already got it, what can I say? It's a skill issue. And of course, we can't end it without taking a look at what's coming up this week, which is the grand final match, or matches. This match of matches is for all the marbles, and by all the marbles, I mean determining who gets more American greenbacks transmitted electronically and in local currency, of course. Now, the grand finals will potentially run a little differently than previous matches. It will start off with a best of 7, just like the winners and elimination brackets finals of the past 2 weeks. However, since this is a double elimination tournament, should Vigilance lose the first match, they still have 1 elimination to go, which means that if that happens, we'll have a short break and then start up a whole new best of 7, winner take, well, 59% of the prize pool. So be sure to tune in. This one could go all the way to 14. As always, if you want to see the match time in your local time, click the tournament link in the description below and click the clock in the upper banner to toggle between UTC and your local time. And that'll do it for this week in comp. There will be one more episode to wrap up the CS24 coverage before the series goes on hiatus until there's some news to report. To leave you with a teaser, the Inner Sphere Coalition channel has been reopened in the MWO Comp Discord, so go check that out. Things are starting to stir. Also, check out the next episode to find out who won the Champion Choice Award. If that doesn't mean anything to you, it's an award given to a pilot from one of the top 12 teams who exhibits a variety of qualities, such as contesting the enemy, supporting teammates, fairness, and a few others. After each match, the attending officials award points to a few pilots in order of influence, as we see. So one pilot gets 3, one gets 2, one gets 1. And whoever has the most points at the end of the season will find themselves sporting a unique cockpit item only available to Champion Choice winners. And with that, thank you for watching. And as always, I'm Ivor, and I hope to see you on the field.